So, Logan, the movie, Hugh Jackman, 2017. Let's talk about it. Unhinged Australian Simmer. Alright. Maybe we could raid them. I have a few people that I would like to raid if they're still alive, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. It could happen. Rotten Tomatoes. So Logan, you had 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's huge. This was really good, to be fair. I really quite liked it. I can see why everyone loved this. 90% audience score. Everyone fucking loved this movie. It's that good. And yeah, I definitely like it too. Let's see some of the reviews. See if we can find a bad review. There's got to be at least a couple. The superhero movie is a major American genre and one that is malleable for the silly and the profound, and Logan is the most profound one yet. Oh, there you go. They really liked it. I really liked it too. Let's find a bad review. View all the critic reviews. Let's find a rotten one. It's Stan Lee by way of Cormac McCarthy, but the end result, basically No Country for Old X-Men, suffers from its own sense of self-importance. I get what they're saying, but I disagree, because they're doing something different at least. It's an aging Hugh Jackman. It's an aging superhero. He's grumpy. His powers aren't the same as they used to be. I think they should do more movies like this. It's really interesting. No, Dylan, are you going to make me eat a banana? Hello, my brother. But, yeah, it's crazy to me. Shout out Chillin' Evans. Shout out to my brother. This movie is really good. I forget where I was going with this. I got distracted. But you know what? That's okay. Hello, Banana Boy. Welcome to the party. Hey, it hasn't crashed yet today. We're doing it. We're living large. And we've almost been streaming 4 hours, so that's cool. Chili, how is your Willy? But yeah, no, what I was saying is that I really like that they're doing this aging superhero thing in this, because you don't see that enough. I would have loved to see a Batman where he's like 80 and trying to still fight crime, or any superhero being old. It's something a little different at least. I don't think I've seen this before this movie. Show me a movie about old superheroes. I'd like that. That'd be cool. Oh my god. Dylan, 2? How many booty bucks do you have? Do you have a lot? Did you just spend them all? If you have any more, you should please donate to the Wackadoodle Extravaganza, the community challenge at the top. Because if we get to that in time, I will do 10 minutes of freestyle rap, take 5 hoots, do a dance of sorts, and draw 105 nipples on my body with washable marker. Have you seen these movie called Banana and Banana 2? Okay, Dylan. Okay, I get it. You say these look tasty, but they're clearly still a little green. You love making me eat bananas. Alright, now we're reviewing this movie. Well, eat bananas. 25% complete. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it. Even though you're making me eat bananas. But, let's look at the Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, we already did. Let's look at the IMDb. But yeah, what was the score on Rotten Tomatoes again? 94%. It's crazy high. And 90% audience score. 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. People love this movie. Banana. Hugh Jackman plays Logan, also known as Wolverine. Obviously, we got Patrick Stewart as Xavier, or just in this is Charles, he gets called the most, but Professor Xavier, also known as. And honestly, those are the most notable actors in it. Let's look at the box office information. It probably did pretty well. 97 million budget with 619 million, 179,950 gross. That's huge. And rightfully so. This movie's really good. I gotta say, I liked it. Girl, same. Chili, how was your Willie? Hey, Stevie, no improvement. How are you? Girl, same. Okay, now I get the girl, same. But yeah. Oh, this is banana one. Almost done. The first banana. So that's the IMDb. So the basic plot, let's just go over that real quick. So Wolverine, this is set in the future of 2029. There's no mutants being born. There's no new mutants being born. And Wolverine's getting old. There's a really cool scene at the beginning where he fights a whole bunch of people. He's trying to rob his truck. All the action in this is really dope, honestly. Are those boneless bananas? I think so. I think they just might be. But yeah, he and Charles Xavier live in the desert, and Charles Xavier is in this big, like, capsule or big aluminum silo or something like that. And the reason he's in there is because he has these seizures that affect a big, like, EMP, electromagnetic pulse, fucking everybody up. And there's a cool scene with that because it makes everybody, like, frozen, but Wolverine can just barely, because he's got the powers, he can barely move through it, so he's kills all these bad guys with, like, frozen. It's a really cool scene because he's struggling though, so I don't know. That's a cool element to this. But yeah, the point is that they're trying to get this little girl who is like Wolverine, but she's got claws in her boots as well. They're trying to get her. The basic plot is they're trying to get her to Eden, this safe haven for mutants. That's the basic plot of the movie. And they're getting stopped by these government officials, or maybe not government officials, but there's an organization who's trying to control the mutants and militarize them. Militarize them, is that the word? You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's the basic plot. Is the bad guys are trying to control the mutants and put stuff in the water so that they don't get born naturally, and try to control them and make them into slave soldiers, basically. So you don't like them. You want to see little girl Wolverine get to Eden and get to safety. That's the plot of the movie. Almost done the first banana. Boom. This movie's dope. Logan. Fright Night. Oh wait, that's not the right movie. Logan notes. Good opening. Like I said, he fights a whole bunch of people right at the beginning. And there's lots of action movies nowadays where, like, I think in the contracts that The Rock or Dwayne The Rock Johnson signs when he's in movies, he can only get beat up, like, a little bit. And there's a few action stars like that they have those clauses in their contracts, and that makes it less exciting. In this, Hugh Jackman gets fucked up so hard, but he always just barely ends up victorious, and it's more exciting that way to see them get fucked up. And it's just a really good opening, with these guys fucking with his truck, and then they show how he's getting old, so his powers aren't working as well. One of his claws isn't coming out all the way. And little things like that are nice touches. Bonana. Okay, guys. I'll eat the other banana, if that's what you're saying. It's right here. Let's go. Let's get it started, and ha. Let's get it started, and ha. Let's get it started, and here, yeah. Alright. Banana. I hardly know it. Alright, what else we got here? Taco Bell reference. I think this is actually a good use of product placement because it's kind of funny. It works as a joke. Charles Xavier, there's parts where he's he's going old, you know. He's having one of those moments, and he's going wheeling around in his wheelchair, just yelling about the Chupa Lupa or whatever item from Taco Bell. And it was kind of funny. I like that scene. It's product placement that worked for me. Wolverine called woman fat ass, and she does nothing. But I guess she doesn't want to get beat up, but still, she seemed pretty sassy. I think she would have been like, you call me a fat ass? And then maybe he could like bring out the claws, and then she'd be like, oh, okay, I don't want to fuck with that. But she's just like, I'm out of here. You called me a fat ass. I feel like she would have been mad. They set her up to be a sort of sassy character. But anyway, I think she was scared. So it makes enough sense. That's definitely a very minor nitpick. Why didn't she lead with the fact that she can pay him $50,000? So this woman's trying to get little girl Wolverine across to Colorado or whatever, wherever the Hayden is, called Eden. And Hugh Jackman doesn't want anything to do with that shit. So she takes a little bit of time to convince. And she's like, come on, we need it. You're our only hope, stuff like that. And they go like this for a bit. And then she's like, oh yeah, I could pay you $50,000. So like, why don't you lead with that? Because that's what sort of gets him going, is the $50,000. Of course, he grows and he realizes that this is the right thing to do. He doesn't do it for the money in the end, but at the beginning, he does do it for the money. But yeah, like, why not lead with that? Be like, it's $50,000. I can pay you to do this thing. Come on, get us there safely. But he's just like, I mean, she just like doesn't tell him until later. I feel like you would have led with that. Lead with that you can pay $50,000 if you really want Wolverine to get with you, or to help you out. Did you shoot her? No. Did you? I asked you first. So this is some dialogue that happens in the movie. Someone's talking to, like the head security guard or whatever you want to call it, who's trying to find little girl Wolverine, is talking to Wolverine. And Wolverine says, oh, I know the head of security says, did you shoot her? And Wolverine says, no, did you? And he says, I asked you first. But he answered the question though. He said no. Did you? So you can answer his question now. So that didn't make sense to me. You know? It's like, yes, you asked first, but he answered you, so now you can answer him, fuck. Don't be a cack. But anyway. Why wouldn't he believe the girl is a mutant? She's clearly, like, she didn't show the claws at this point, so I get that, but she's clearly, like, strong. She's holding on to the backpack. Wolverine's trying to grab it, and she's able to hold on to it. And plus, she threw a pipe at the head security guard guy, knocking him out. It's like, clearly she's a mutant. Like, why do you not believe she's a mutant? Of course, he believes it when he sees her killing people with the claws and shit, which is another cool fucking scene. Eat some more banana. Let's get this going. Woo! Gotta get this banana out of here, y'all. Okay. Why wouldn't they kill the evil security agent? Oh yeah, so there's a part where they knock him out. Or the little girl Wolverine knocks out this lead evil security agent who's trying to fuck up all the mutants' lives. She knocks him out with a pipe, and then they just like drag him to the desert and allow him to get up and fuck with Caliban. So like if they would have just killed him, Caliban wouldn't have gotten fucked, and they would have all been better off. But I guess maybe the movie would be over a lot quicker too, because they do show more of the inner workings of this agency and why they're so evil. It's not just this guy. There's more layers to it. But still, he's a big chunk of it. And they should have just killed him when they had the chance, but they didn't. So yeah, I thought that was dumb. There's just, the action sequences are so good. Every time there's an action sequence, it's just more thrilling than the average action movie. Like, they'll have a car chase, but there'd be like, they have to get through a fence, and then there's a train right at the last minute, and people are chasing them, and it's just everything is done so well, action wise, and the whole movie is pretty well put together. I really enjoyed this one. Dr. Xavier has to pee. That was just a funny point in time. I wasn't expecting. He's like, I have to pee. I laughed. I can't lie. It was dumb, but I laughed. X-Men comics exist in this universe. And Hugh Jackman is sort of saying that, yes, these comics exist, but it's exaggerations of what actually happened in their universe. So it shows in the comics that this Eden exists. So he sees that and says that, oh, that means it's not true. That place doesn't exist. Those comics are a lie. But then, of course, he finds out that it is real. So I like that. I like that the X-Men comics exist, and it makes enough sense. It works for me anyway. Some people might not like that, but I like that. Why doesn't Caliban burn up when in the cage? Caliban is a mutant who can't be touched by sunlight or he burns up. But he's in a cage, and he's looking out, watching people outside the cage, and there's clearly light coming into the cage, so why isn't that burning him? That's not explained. So yeah, I think he would burn up in the cage like that, but he doesn't. So it doesn't really make sense. Just another little nitpicky thing that didn't make sense to me. I'm not a box of avocados, Logan, is what Charles Xavier says to Logan at one point. I like that line as well. Let's take another bite of banana. We're almost done this thing here. Alright. The ice girl should have been able to freeze the robot hand when it was put to her mouth. So there's a whole bunch of other mutant kids at this Eden place, or at least the place where they're going to meet to go to this Eden place. And all these little kids are mutants and they have powers. And the one kid's power is if they can breathe ice. And they can freeze like your hand and then punch it and smash it. So they do that to one person. They freeze their arm and they chop it and shatter him and fuck him up. But then someone else puts their hand on their mouth. It's a robot hand, but I still think if they would have used their freezy breath, it would have fucked up the hand and they would have still been able to escape. But they don't escape. They just get caught by this robot hand, man. And yeah, I think that the freezy breath, they could have gotten away with the freezy breath, but no, it doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, there's another note I had on this movie. Camera angle makes it look like the bad guys can see the little girl Wolverine. So yeah, there's a part where the little girl Wolverine is sneaking around and trying to, get a one-up on these bad guys and try to save the kids from being captured and try to help out Logan. But it looks like the bad guys behind her, like there's an angle where it just looks like they would be able to see her. It just looked a little weird. They're like right behind her. She would be in their peripherals. The angle just didn't look right. I was like, okay, she's right there. It doesn't make any sense that they don't like try to shoot her, because she's clearly trying to sabotage their operation. But I digress. Maybe a little bit of a nitpick, and maybe the angle just doesn't look right, but that's my point, is that it made it look like they could easily see her. Anyway, moving on. How did the kids get out? So I've rewound this like quite a few times, because there's a point where the kids are just out all of a sudden. Like they show them captured, and then all of a sudden they're just escaped. Like, did the little girl Wolverine get them out? When did that happen? I rewound so far, tried to find where the kids get let out, but at one point they're just out of nowhere. It doesn't get explained, or at least I don't think it got explained. If it did get explained, I didn't notice, and it could have been explained better, I think, because I rewound trying to be like, how did the kids get out? How did they escape? I mean, it's good that they escaped, obviously, but it's just like, how? It didn't make sense. Why doesn't she go with her friends at the end? Yeah, Wolverine, spoiler alert, but I actually knew this was going to end this way before I even watched the movie, so it wasn't a spoiler for me. But Logan dies at the end of this movie, and his last wish is like go with your friends and be free and be safe. And she's just like, no, and doesn't go with them. And it's like, what the fuck? Why? Why not? Why wouldn't she do that? It doesn't... I don't really understand why. She says some shit, but I was like, listen to Wolverine. He's right. You should go to your safe haven with your mutants. Maybe she wants to try to like, save the world, but... And I get that, but at the same time, it's like, maybe you could work up to that. Go with your friends, get to the safe haven, build a team, and then try to fuck with the people. Get your shit together. You're still just a little kid, but... And again, I don't even know if that's what she's wanting to do then. Is she going out to try to stop the bad guys? That's what I think, but it's not made clear. A little open-ended, but still a really good movie, and I enjoyed it overall. But that's my last note. So let's eat this little bit of banana. And let's rate this movie. So Logan 2017, this was really good because it wasn't like a lot of superhero movies. It was a little darker. Some of the best fight choreography I've seen in a movie. It was just really different and well done. I like the focus on Wolverine being an older superhero, what he has to deal with aging, how his powers are fading. That's interesting. It makes it more exciting. You want to see him win, and he does for the most part. Although, like I said, unfortunately he does at the end, but that's sort of makes the movie awesome, more awesome in a way. And it sort of sets it up for like maybe the little girl will be the new Wolverine. And yeah, it was really well done. Yeah, like I know I narked on it quite a bit, or I had some notes, but those were mostly nitpicks. And as a whole, the movie was really great. It was funny, great action scenes, great acting, just pretty great all around. I'm giving it a 9.1 out of 10. That good. Pretty good. Pretty good movie. There's some things that I would change, but those, pretty much everything I said was a nitpick, so. Logan, 2017, 9.1 out of 10 ducks.